Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris, and television just got a whole lot bloodier. It's been kind of crazy to me the past few months that I've been seeing all these announcements for horror icons moving from the big screen to television. So many, in fact, that I thought it was enough to round up a video and inform you guys of every horror icon that is now getting a TV show. I've said it so many times, but it really is a great time to be a horror fan. We're getting great ones in theaters and in our own homes to terrify us. In honor of that, before getting to the video, I did want to do a special giveaway of the best horror TV show that's ever been. Don't at me. Scooby-Doo, okay? If you want a chance to win this newly released Scooby-Doo Pop, all you have to do is be a subscriber, like and comment that you want this. I'll be picking out someone at random. You'll be a lucky holder of a Scooby-Doo Pop. Best horror TV show around. But getting right to it, let's start off with the list of some of the ones you might not already know. The one that was literally announced today that overfilled the cup to make me go, you know what? It's time to make a video about this. The horror icon known as Ju-On, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Don't confuse her with Samara, the girl from The Ring. This is the girl from The Grudge. It was announced that she is getting her own Netflix series coming out spring of 2020. She's most popularly known for the Japanese horror category, and then of course getting an American remake that was pretty entertaining. Funny thing also, she's also getting a reboot coming this January of 2020 starring John Cho, where we'll get to see another reimagining of The Grudge. Basic details that we have right now from the people who announced this said, the J-horror classic franchise Ju-On was actually based on real events that occurred over 4 decades, and the truth is even more terrifying. I am a fan of the Grudge movie. I remember seeing it kind of young. That creepy sound she makes, I do not want to hear that at bedtime. So I am definitely going to check this one out, but I don't think it's my most anticipated out of all the other ones on this list. Next up, probably the one I'm most excited for, other than another one on this list that you guys can kind of guess, is Scream Resurrection. Now, I've already made a previous video about this. What an utter surprise. This is technically Scream Season 3. However, it is not connected at all to the very first 2 seasons that premiered on MTV, and I have to say, on my first video, I say I did not watch those, and then you guys fluttered in the comments saying, dude, you gotta watch it. It's actually a nice show. And my apologies, because that show is freaking fantastic. The first 2 seasons of Ghostface, or Scream as you might know him, are on Netflix, and I highly suggest you check them out. I really thought it was gonna be CW teenage drama BS, but the show is so fun and entertaining. As a big Scream fan, it did justice. But the reason it's on this list, even though it already has a TV show, is because season 3 is a complete reboot. It's a whole new story, not connected to the past 2 seasons, not connected to the movies. We already have a few trailers online, and it looks fantastic, since in this series they're going to be able to use the iconic Ghostface mask. The guy who originally did the voice for Ghostface when he's on the phone from the movies is coming to the TV show. I am an absolute die-hard Scream fan, and I'm so excited to check this one out, and you guys better check it out as well, because once it's released July 8th of this year, premiering on the channel VH1, I'm definitely going to make videos and recaps about this, so you guys need to check this show out. Next horror icon that is getting a TV show, surprisingly, Pinhead, or as he's better known in his series, Hellraiser. Now again, funny thing about him is he is also getting a reboot that was announced just a few weeks ago, a reboot that will be coming to the big screen and work as a new reinvention for the character. There's even been some rumors that they could go with a female Pinhead, since apparently in the books it's more heavily hinted that Pinhead in that series is female. I'm super excited to see what happens, but he's also gonna get a television series. Not really much details on the show of where it's gonna appear or when we might see it. The only thing we have as of right now is that the show itself will focus entirely on Pinhead and his layman configuration, that's the puzzle box, but we'll try and put a modern spin on the Hellraiser mythology that's been presented throughout the franchise. That sounds interesting and pretty obvious. I think that they'll have a teenage cast like all these other shows that stumble across this demonic puzzle and then do some configuration and Pinhead shows up. But the interesting part here is that it'll focus on him as the main character, which I think is what needs to be done instead of focusing on these other teenage characters with drama problems. I am mixed on this one since I was never a big Hellraiser fan. I'm definitely wanting checking out the reboot when it comes to theaters. As far as the TV show goes, man, I just don't know how you're gonna do it, because out of all these characters, Hellraiser is the most bloody, disgusting, gory character, and I just don't know how you can bring that to television unless it's on a Netflix, HBO, or Hulu where there's no restrictions. I guess time will tell, and if the trailer is cool, I'll be checking that out. And of course, the last one on the list, the diehards of my channel already know this well. Charles Lee Ray Chucky is getting a television series coming to the the Sci-Fi Channel in 2020. Now, this is completely separate from the reboot that we just got in theaters, where Chucky was an AI robot voiced by Mark Hamill. Due to some legal rights issues, we have two different versions of Chucky that are doing their own thing. There's no reason to pick a side because you can love both, and they're definitely different characters. Now that we've seen the movie, they don't really clash with each other, so it's okay to love them each separately. With the television series, it's going to be sort of a sequel to the end of Cult of Chucky. We're going to be focusing on Charles Lee Ray and him wreaking havoc. Nick Acosta, who was attached to the show Channel Zero for Sci-Fi that made some great horror content, will be working with Don Mancini to create the story of Chucky. I am super pumped and excited for this as a lifelong Chucky fan. There's rumblings that they will even try to integrate Glenn and Tiffany into the story. They're bringing back OG Andy, Alex Vincent, and I have loved the way the last two straight-to-DVD movies went, so this sounds like a pretty solid show. I'm just waiting to see a trailer. As far as confirmed icons, that is about it. There was a Friday the 13th series in the works. They were heavily pushing it to go on the CW network, but they rejected the idea. The last rumblings we heard about it was in February 2017 when they said they're still pushing along trying to get this thing made, but then we got hit with that lawsuit, which is holding up the entire Friday the 13th franchise and why we won't see a reboot, a TV show, video games, or really any other merchandise of the character of Jason Voorhees until that lawsuit is settled. Which of these horror icons are you most excited to see for? Which will you actually be tuning in for? You gotta pick Scream and Chucky on this list because those are people I'm gonna make videos on. As far as these other characters, I'll have to wait and see on a trailer if they interest me. Also, don't forget guys, make sure you're subscribed, leave a like and comment if you would like to win this Scooby-Doo pop. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.